You have the strategic Aquarius. It's got its plans, got its ideas, what we can do, who we know, who we got to see, what we got to say, what we got to. They got all their plans. They're fixed with their. I know what I know. Don't tell me what I know. So and so. I know so and so. I know this gets done this way. They got their plans. They know what they know. This is the rational fixity. It's hard to change the Aquarian mind. This basic quality is why, in the end, after going through all the different things and looking in the Western astrology, put Uranus as ruling Aquarius because he seems to be independent, free, radical, loves everybody. But it's the other planets are too extreme. We'll get to this, to give the rulership to the inner planet. Really, it's Saturn and the practicalness of winter that determines this rationale. And what's a little bit more free than just rules. Let's make it a little more interesting. But here's a way to look at it. So there's a slight way of trying to find a new way from the rigidities of the Capricorn, from the pressure of Capricorn. But there's still a fixity. We're going to do this. Don't tell me how to change what I don't change what I know. Don't change the way I plan it. So the Taurus it's springtime. They're trying to be, it's the fixed earth. I want to be comfortable. I want things to be rich. I want things to be beautiful. I like the flowers. Like, I need to be appreciated. Like, everybody wants to appreciate. I want to collect attention. I want to grow. I want to accumulate things for myself. I want to accumulate. I know what values, what I like, what I don't like, and I want what I want, or I don't want what I don't want. So this is the thing where it's difficult to buy Taurus's clothes because they know what they like. You give them money to get clothes, but don't give them clothes. But if you give them too little, they'll be upset anyways. So they have a strong sense of what's valuable and what's not to them. And if they don't like something, there's no way they're going to want it, not going to want it. They're going to want it, or they won't adjust. I got to have this. I got to have that. I need to have this. So they're always trying to get the attention in physical, practical ways. I got the hugs from mom. I got a certain amount of money. I got a nice style of clothes. They have this sense of it. So they're getting attention in a very practical way. And because it's so physical and so spring-like, it really doesn't stop to listen to the planning of Aquarius, or the rational plans of Aquarius. But again, they're resisting the changes. They'll take impulse if they have to. If they're going to get something, they'll adjust if they have to, but not easily. It's always whether I have to or not. That's the Taurus. The Leo, they want to have fun. They want to be noticed. They want to play. They want to be noticed for their playing. They want you to see, hey, here I am. They want to, in the middle of a field, everybody's working hard. They want to play games and they want to be noticed. They're the funny one. They're the one that get the attention. So Leos want the attention. Tauruses want the attention, but they want things with it. They want to be appreciated and valued for it. Tauruses have the self-esteem. Leos have the self-esteem. They figure they're the best. And you should just obviously notice them. What's wrong with you if you don't applaud? Here I am. But they don't have necessarily a tolerance for the strategies of the Aquarius. They think that Tauruses are kind of greedy and trying to take all the attention away from them. And they're a little more reacting to other people because it's the nighttime increasing, so they'll adjust to get the attention. The Taurus is the daylight's increasing, so they're pushing to get more. They're a little bit more blatant, but the Leos are expecting attention and they shine in it. And so when it's positive, they're really noble and great people, and they shouldn't, but they're not followers. They're the big kid. They're the shining star. They want to be appreciated. This is the warmth of summer. This is the best it gets. Can't you see it? This is who I am. I'm not like the rest of you. I'm the leader. So you have this fixed sense of how important they are and of their self. Taurus is a self-worth, and Leos, it's their pride and self-esteem. They have a certain nobility. It's fire. They're fixed in being noticed the way they're noticed. Nobody takes away. I want to be in the best position. So that whole independent idea goes against the strategy of what needs to be done and how to work together as a teamwork of the Aquarius. When you get to the Scorpio, the middle of the fall, you have the fixed water, the emotional, judgmental side. It's very determined. It makes a judgment. It lives in it. It's fixed. This needs to be done. This is what has to be done. Don't tell me what I have to do. Don't tell me how to. I know what has to be done. I'm doing it. Get out of my way. So they're deeply committed in a relationship, but they tend to be a little stifling and smothering and fixed in it. They have their own way of it. I'm doing all the things I need to be doing. Don't question me. Don't get me to change. This is the way it's supposed to be. So each of these signs has a stability and a determination and a tenacity to maintain their own way. But each one has its own eccentricity in its stubbornness. you can't change them. You're not going to. If you try and change them, you're throwing your energy away because they'll just sit there and take the attention or the energy, but they're still not going to change. So this resistance to change is a standard quality. And it's changing, resistance to changing my independent positions, that's Taurus and Leo. Resistance to changing my social positions and who I know and who I'm committed to, that's the Scorpio and Aquarius. And they play out. They don't get along with each other. There's many people in relationships that are relationships with these signs, then they'll have whose determination is leading and whose is not, and they're in fixed the same old battles for many years. So you can see these things play out in relationships. You want to see how this plays out individually first. Is that person really like this? Can you really see this quality? And making this connection, both for you, for the signs you are, and for the people you know, you've got to make sure you know that this connection is true and real, not just a thought. You want to be able to see it, say, yeah, this works. This is obvious. Oh, look, that guy really, Jim's like this, Tom's like that, Susie's like that, Petra's like that. You just get so many. You can see. You gotta feel. This is the theory. This is the mathematical theory. These divisions. And this is the logic behind it. But when you go out, you can look. You can see that it's pretty close. So the third. These are called the modes. The modes are the cardinal, the fixed, and immutable modes. The three different ways of being dynamic. Dynamic being accumulating and being fixed, and diversifying and dissipating, the mutable. So the mutable signs, they're always trying to adjust and do something a different way. They get bored with things being the same. The fixed signs like things to be the same. They're secure. The cardinal signs push to change things. But the mutable signs are always adapting. They're not so driving. They're not so ambitious. They're adjusting and juggling to make what's most convenient, what will work. If this is working, let's try this. This is boring. Let's go on to this. They have a curiosity within them that's looking at many ways to approach things. So the Pisces is in the wintertime. There's a social person that has a sense of responsibility, trying new ways to help everybody. You can't just write off people. You got to help people that aren't working. They have the kindness and the compassion to help others. But they have so many stories of how many people live this way or that way, how many different ways to be. And Pisces are a different way with each person they know. There'll be one way with you, another way with another person, and they're as diverse as all the people they know. And the only way to really know Pisces is to get 5 or 6 other friends and start comparing notes. They're like that with you. They're never like that with me. They're like this. And you see many, many different faces on the Pisces. A different feeling, a different impression, a different mood with each person. This is someone to be happy with, someone to drink with, someone to go play with, someone to go. They have different ways of doing it. And they want all of them. They want that diversity. They get really smutted when everything gets fixed or stifled. So they're always trying to find a new way. So this is the understanding of Pisces, trying to understand and be sensitive water to everyone and adjust and be helpful. That's the kindness of Pisces. In Gemini, it's springtime. It's the most independent time. It's the I, me time, and it's an air sign. It's like the communication, the ideas. I am what I think. I know this. I see this. I can do this. I can do that. And the Gemini thinks for themselves and is always thinking, seeing a new way to think. They're always impressed by seeing how they're thinking something different themselves. They think they know better than anyone else. And they may know things much more than other people, but they tend to not ground them because they go out in so many directions, but they don't consolidate. They just ride with it. So this is very apparent in today's world when we had Rob Ford, now we have Donald Trump, the Geminis, following their own ideas and just thinking they know as much as anyone. They can approach anything. Everybody else is stupid because they don't see it the way I see it. And this is the extreme of Gemini. Geminis doing their own thing. They're free. They got their car. They're going around. They're fun to be with. They're happy-go-lucky. They'll laugh in the face of responsibility. Who cares? Let's just be free. Let's have fun. Let's go. That's the happiness of them. But when they're in a social situation where there's responsibilities, they laugh at it and avoid it. And they make a lot of enemies. So Geminis have a lot of, they go for the power of the politics, but they get, because they think they're smart enough, but in responsible situations, they tend to be dragged down. The group is stronger than the individual, and the Gemini thinks they're stronger than any group. They usually think the group is a conspiracy against them. And I got to get away with this. I got to do this way. I got to figure this way out. I got to do things this way. So the Gemini is the mischievous imp. Let's do it this way, or it's mischievous, but it's just curious. But curiosity can kill the cat. But like, let's try it this way. Let's look at it this way. So they're into their mind and into ideas. And they're trying to find as many ideas and know whatever they want to know. So almost the most open-minded sign. It's just they don't listen. They talk more. They're seeing their associations. If they know a whole bunch of people, it's because these people are an extension of how I think, and I can think all these different ways. But it's really a very independent function of how one thinks. If you question their thinking or you call them stupid, they have a tendency to either laugh in your face or get really angry. Because it's just, why would you be so stupid to take a different attitude then? Why would you not see that they're seeing it the best way? So they're schemers and always adapting new ideas. So the person who's always adapting new ideas and following their own ideas is very different than the Pisces, who's always trying to be sensitive and seeing the kindness and seeing how to help different people in different situations. That compassion of Pisces is very different than the curiosity and independence of Gemini. So you can have the bleeding heart liberals trying to help other people and do Medicare and making sure everybody's okay. But Gemini's going to think, why should we pay for that? Let's be free. Just let's do our own thing. You can see that. So they could feel why should I have to pay for the group? I'm taking care of myself. Makes sense. Simple. Okay. Now the Virgo, it's the next adaptable summer. It's the critical. It's mental. It's earthy. So it's always measuring how can you improve something, how can you fix something. They're just as smart as the Geminis, but their thinking is more self-critical. It's, as the nighttime is increasing, a little more responsible, how to fit in, how to be responsible, how to make things a bit better, how to improve things. The Geminis aren't thinking like that. They're trying to see how far they can go with things. Here's a great idea, go for it. So the Geminis are the speculators, and the Virgos are more the analysts or the critical thinkers around. They're the perfectionists trying to perfect techniques, make it better. They'll adjust, they'll improve this, they're always improving things, and they're always thinking about how to improve. So these are the two good uses of the mind, the Gemini and the Virgo. But the Gemini is independent. The Virgo, if they work together, the Gemini just works at anything. I'll do this, I'll do that, they can work. But the Virgo has a system. They put their tools in the box in a certain way. They're very ordered. And the Gemini come along, hey, lend me your hammer. They borrow the hammer, they don't return it. Nothing's going to set off the Virgo more. The Virgo has the system. Gemini's not going to follow the system. Rules are made to be broken. That's a crazy system. I can do it this way. And they compete with each other in this way. The Virgo's actually more practical, and the Gemini's more in their head, but they're struggling over the concepts involved in it. And they're each trying to diversify and find many different ways to do things. And in that diversity, they have a certain scope, a certain diversity that lets them multitask, but in a very unique way. The Virgo has a very practical way of improving things. As long as they're improving things, that works better for everyone. But that's the opposite of Pisces. Let's help other people. Let's make things better for other people who aren't able to improve things. Let's try and fix it. So there's a counterbalance between each of these. So these signs,